Alright, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be doing a review on Death, the deluxe edition by Neil Gaiman. And this is by the DC Black Label. It was just released this month. And this is pretty much a collection of stories of Death. And this is kind of like all her appearances within the Sandman universe. This does not include her appearances outside of it. Including the ones in Action Comics and the ones in the Lucifer series. So this includes the miniseries Death of the High Cost of Living, Death, The Time of Your Life, and some of the issues, The Sound of Her Wings, which is her first appearance, Facade, the Death in Venice chapter from The Sandman the Endless, and the short story A Winter's Tale, The Wheel, and Death Talks About Life. And it also features an introspective introduction by the musician Tori Amos and an extensive gallery of death portraits from a host of comics' greatest artists. The price on here for US dollars is $30, $29.99. But as always, you can find them cheaper at your retail of choice. So let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. Alright, there we go. Nice and shiny. See the spine. And the back. Which includes some of that photorealistic style that they use for her miniseries. We're going to take the dust cover off. And that looks nice, doesn't it? That looks real nice, actually. And then her symbol. She does wear a charm in the shape of that. Go. It's the introduction. The deluxe edition, Neil Gaiman. So this has art by Chris Bachalo, Mark Buckingham, Mike Dringenberg, Colleen Doran, Craig Russell, Malcolm Jones III, Mark Pennington, Dave McKean, and Jeffrey Jones. So you got some pretty good artists. You got a table of contents. So this is an introduction by Tori Amos. Can't wait to read that. That's what I love about deluxe editions, is that a lot of times they include things that are not usually in the first ones. And this is Sound of Her Wings, which is Sandman number 8. This is her first appearance. Now, I would suggest that if you have not read her first appearance, I would suggest that you go ahead and just read the Sandman series. It's only 8 issues in, but I feel like it's a lot more powerful when you get the context of the story of Sandman, because this story is kind of like, her first appearance is kind of like a break in the story of the Sandman. It's kind of like the Sandman builds up to a climax, and then you kind of get this issue number 8, which is kind of a nice break before it takes off into another arc. And this is the issue with the Lady Metaphora. That's a great story as well. A Winter's Tale, that's also a great story. This is kind of like, not saying origin story, The High Cost of Living. So I really enjoyed this one. This is, I believe, her first miniseries, and this is very, very enjoyable read. I highly recommend it. She kind of takes on this boy who's kind of got this very apathetic attitude towards life, and she kind of takes him on a trip. She just kind of show him some stuff. So very cool. I love Death's style. She's kind of like this death punk chick, but at the same time she's very bubbly, very warm, and I feel like that's kind of like a metaphor of like death, when death comes over you, like a warm embrace. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Then we got some more modern stories. Then you got The Time of Your Life, which I feel like it's the weaker of the 2 miniseries, but still I think it's entertaining enough to read. And overall, I really enjoyed it. A lot of these stories. This one's one of my favorites. This is, let's see, find the title page here. I just read this one. It's Death in Venice. So this one's very entertaining. I really like it. You kind of have this pocket of society that have kind of banished death outside of their gates. So they kind of just live their life like, you know, like they're immortals. And these are some really cool art, some pinups. This is very cool. This stuff you don't really get to see a whole lot. This is awesome pinups. This is a Adam Hughes cover right there. And this just goes on forever, man. This is awesome. Trying to get to see all her art. I'm gonna show you every single one of them, and I love this story right here. This back one, it is technically a one-shot, but this is called Death Talks About Life. But this is kind of a promotional comic that was released by Vertigo. It's a very short comic. It's kind of like probably 5 or 6 pages, and it's actually a promotional comic that talks about sexual health, and she talks about AIDS, and this is kind of like an informative thing, you know what I mean? And it's very fun. I love that you have John Constantine in making a cameo here to help demonstrate the application of a condom. Very awesome stuff, very interesting stuff. Overall, highly recommend it. If you have already read the Sandman story, and if you're a fan of Death, and I feel like this is kind of a no-brainer to pick up just to add to your collection. I think Death is an excellent character. I think she's probably the most interesting character that came out of the Sandman universe, and you just can't get enough of it. So yeah, that's the review. Thank you guys for watching this, man. I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.